How to Be an Astronaut by Alice Franklin. 1. Read. You are young when you start reading books about space. Event horizons, the Oort cloud, and the Kuiper belt enter your lexicon long before you learn to spell the word exhilarating, accelerate, or happiness. Your school doesn't allow you to write in pen. They're not even teaching physics. My very easy method just shows us 9 planets. It was something you learned when you were 3. And when you were 4, you learnt it was false. By 7, Pluto is not a planet, miss. You say, yes it is. The teacher says, Pluto is most definitely a planet. It says so in your textbook. The textbook is 20 years old, which means it's 13 years older than you, which means it is shit. 2. Dream. You can't sleep. Tomorrow is your 9th birthday and you have asked Mum and Dad for a telescope. You can't wait to unwrap the box, assemble the parts, inspect the mirror, to turn your gaze to the moon. In the morning, you get a book. Stars you can see with the naked eye. A NASA t-shirt and chocolate. You hug your mum and dad and go upstairs to cry as quietly as you can. When night falls, you go into the garden and lie on the grass. It is already damp with dew and it soaks your new t-shirt. Through the haze of light pollution, you see Polaris, Sirius, and Betelgeuse, but not much else. You look at the moon. Its light gives off a green and yellow glow. You are enchanted. You are sad. 3. Read. You are 11 when you start reading Kurt Vonnegut, Philip K. Dick, Douglas Adams. You can never stand the books on the school syllabus, so every week your dad takes you to the local library where you sit and read whilst he does the shopping, takes a walk, or whatever it is he does when you're at the library. You learn about aliens, you learn about time travel, you learn about teleporting. You learn how to spell exhilarating, accelerate, and happiness. It's very exciting. And in the evening you write stories which are basically poor remakes of what you've read during the day. At night you stay awake staring at the ceiling. You can't wait to grow up. 4. Train. You climb onto the roof to see if you can handle the vertigo, because you imagine astronauts who orbit the Earth at 240 miles above the ground on the International Space Station experience intense vertigo. You stand on a 2nd floor window ledge, grip the gutter, and clamber up. Oh, you don't mind the height at all. You find it exhilarating. From here, you can see the park, your school, and the church. You stay for a while, wondering how you're going to get back down. After a while, you start to panic. How are you going to get back down? Eventually, you message your mum. She freaks out. She shouts, cries, swears, all things you have never heard or seen her do before. The farmer comes around with a large ladder. When he arrives, you see him shaking his head. You need to call the fire brigade, he says. They arrive with blue lights. They are wearing fancy uniforms. They carry you down in a fireman's lift. I'm not angry, your mum says over dinner. I'm just embarrassed. 5. Read. You are 13 when you start reading books on physics. You learn then that science is more interesting than science fiction. You learn that the entire human race could fit inside a sugar cube. You learn about white holes. You learn that a spacesuit costs £9 million. This is long before you have learnt the meaning of the words optimise or benchmark. At night you barely sleep. You are too busy reading. 6. Send in a speculative application. Dear Sir/Madam, I am an astronaut. I am unafraid of heights. I have climbed onto the roof of my house and was absolutely fine. I am in perfect physical health. I've never had a single thing wrong with me except for scarlet fever, which went away after a couple of weeks and didn't leave any scars. I don't have anything wrong with me psychiatrically either. I've never been depressed or anxious or manic or psychotic. My reflexes are good. If you throw a ball at me, I'll catch it. I can run for 2 hours without stopping. I know the names of loads of the stars you can see with the naked eye. I am predicted A's in maths and physics and chemistry and biology and even English and art. I don't drink or smoke or take drugs except paracetamol. I have been following every single NASA mission for 6 years and know a great deal about your organisation. Please write back to me if you'd like to interview me. I'd love to join your team. 7. Train. You can do 20 press-ups now. You can lift half your body weight. Your team at school smashes every opponent, and that's mostly because of you. You get your school to start doing rugby for the girls and quickly become captain. People call you big, huge, the monster girl. You don't care. You're training. You enroll onto the RAF cadets. You fly. Oh, the pilot takes over and does a loop-the-loop. You can't stop grinning. You've never felt so free. 8. Dream. All the good aeronautical engineering courses require 3 A's, and you've got 3 B's. So you decide to take a gap year. Retake your exams and try again. At night, you barely sleep, dreaming about Machu Picchu, Incan kings, campuses with cloisters, libraries that go on forever. 9. Get close to the stars. You are on an island in Lake Titicaca, Bolivia. You are nearly 4,000 meters above sea level. It's difficult to breathe. You pant, sweat, complain. There are no cars, so you have to walk everywhere or take a horse, for which the locals charge a relative fortune. When it gets dark, it's time to go to bed, because there's no electricity. You're walking back to your hut when your friend grabs you by the arm. Look up, she says, look up now. You frown at her before doing what she says. The sky is enormous, bigger than any sky you've seen before. It stretches from horizon to horizon, every single millimetre punctuated with thousands of stars. You feel like you're falling into it. It's not just the altitude that takes your breath away. Polaris, Sirius, Betelgeuse, you say, but you've forgotten the names for the other stars, the other galaxies you can see, and so stop there. What are you saying? Nothing, you say. I'm saying nothing. Dream. 10. You are sitting on the balcony, smoking with a co-worker. What did you want to be when you were younger? You ask. Did you always want to be a social media executive? Kind of, he says. I did get on Twitter when I was 7. There is a pause. What about you? You mull this over a while. What did you want to be when you were young? A police officer, you say. I just love those cop shows. Huh? He says, what happened to that dream? You shrug. It went away, you say. To be honest, I don't really know what I want to be. Maybe an astronaut. He laughs. Go for it. Reach for the stars. You take another drag and watch the smoke float up into the sky. You live in London, where there are no stars. Nah, you say. I'm all right.